Hi, Damian. I just happened to come across your video a year after death about the loss of your stepfather, and about a week ago I came across the loss and angel video about how he passed away. I know this is a little bit late, but you do have my full condolences for the loss of your stepfather, and it seems like that this past year, things have gotten better for you. You've come to terms with everything. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what happened to me. Back in 2007, I ended up losing both my father and my grandmother in the same month. Yeah, sucks pretty bad to lose two people you're close to within the same month, pretty much within the span of 22 days. I was living in Port St. Lucie, Florida at the time, and I was working overnight at a McDonald's that was located inside of a super Walmart. I had just gotten home from my shift and was sitting in front of the computer when my phone went off, and it was my dad's girlfriend. She sounded kind of frantic, and I had asked her what was wrong. She said, "Your dad's acting funny." I thought for a minute, well, this is my dad here. My dad's got a weird sense of humor. He normally acts strange. I asked her to elaborate. She had said he had got up from bed complaining about his head hurting, took two steps, fell to his knees, and fell on his face. I told her, I said, well, what are you doing on the phone with me? You need to be calling 911. So she had called 911, and they came, they got him to the hospital. She swung by where I was staying at, picked me up, and brought me to the hospital. We got there. He was in the emergency room. He was coherent. He knew who everybody was. He kept complaining that his head was hurting. So he started to get rowdy. They put him under anesthesia. And that was pretty much the last time we ever saw him awake. He was then airlifted to St. Mary's Hospital in West Palm Beach, Florida. By the time we'd gotten there, the doctors had called us and said things weren't looking too good. It had turned out my father had suffered what was known as a hemorrhagic stroke. Now, normally with a normal stroke, the blood vessels in your brain clot. With a hemorrhagic stroke, they burst open. Basically, my dad had internal bleeding of the brain. A few days in the hospital, they said they were going to try a few things, see if they could stop the swelling, stop the bleeding, see if he would be fine. On January 9th, the doctors informed us that half of his brain was covered in blood, and they never saw him coming out of it. He was going to live as a vegetable for the rest of his life. We had to make the very tough decision to take him off of life support at that point. My father, he died very peacefully at the age of 50. You know, not a day goes by that we don't miss him. Now, it did cause a lot of backlash with me. I ended up losing my job because of all this. I ended up losing my place to live because I lost my job. And it affected me in ways I can't even explain. Now it's January 31st of 2007, and I'm actually at a working job interview where I had to go and interview for the job, but I had to work to show them what kind of skills I had to keep the job. I get a phone call from my brother-in-law saying my grandmother's in the hospital. It's not looking good. I might want to leave and come say goodbye. So as I was getting ready to call for a ride, my two best friends, Gabe and Jess, had showed up at my job to pick me up and take me to the hospital. I got in there. My grandmother, who was in her 70s, wasn't looking very good, and it looked like it was not a time that she was going to pass on. I was there for maybe a couple hours, and she passed away from congestive heart failure. So, you know, 2 in 1 month. It's never a good thing when you lose two family members in 1 month. But I just wanted to know, Damian, that I'm with you. I know how it feels to lose people close to you. And God bless you, your mother, and your sister. And I hope all is going to be well for all of you. And you take care of yourself. Bye.